This isn't just a football match. It's the second leg of a Champions League quarterfinal. A spot in the Final Four is on the line, but more than that, it's a battle for the very soul of the game itself.
Okay, so let's get right into it. The scoreboard says 2-0. Atletico Madrid are in the driver's seat. But you and I both know that number, that simple scoreline, it doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what really happened in the first leg or what's about to unfold.
Because what we're watching is a war between two completely opposing philosophies. On one side, you have Barcelona. They controlled the ball, they controlled the tempo, they controlled all the stats. But on the other side, you had Atletico Madrid, and they controlled the only thing that actually matters, the outcome. This is structure versus spontaneity. This is control versus chaos.
And here's the fascinating part. This isn't a new dynamic, not at all. This is a recurring pattern, a story we've seen told across 3 recent, brutal clashes that tells us everything we need to know for tonight.
Just take a look at that first leg. Barcelona had nearly 60% of the ball and took 18 shots. Atletico, they only had 5. But here's the kicker. Atletico were just ruthlessly efficient. They didn't need the ball, they just needed the right moments. You could say Barcelona played more football, sure, but Atletico played the better moments.
And that brings us to the turning point. The moment Pau Cubarsí got sent off, Barcelona's entire high-risk system it shattered. All those spaces they willingly leave open as part of their game plan were suddenly impossible to defend. Atletico pounced, and you know what? The game was won right there and then.
And if we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, it all clicks into place. In La Liga, yeah, Barcelona got the win, but they were still getting torn apart on the counterattack. In the Copa del Rey, it was just pure end-to-end chaos. The pattern is undeniable. Barcelona's system is always living on the edge of breaking.
So let's talk about the blueprints themselves. We're looking at 2 fundamentally different designs for victory. On one side, you've got Diego Simeone's impenetrable fortress, and on the other, Barcelona's raging, high-risk storm.
Atletico's identity is just unbreakable. For over a decade under Simeone, the principles have been exactly the same. Defensive compactness, positional discipline, and complete and utter emotional control. They don't chase the ball, they don't panic, they simply wait.
And here's how they build that fortress. It's a deep, compact 4-4-2 block. The midfield is incredibly narrow, the lines are super tight, and that central corridor, it's just completely shut down. The whole goal is simple. Force you out wide into areas where you can't hurt them and just suffocate your creativity.
Barcelona, well, they're the complete opposite. They embrace the storm. Their entire system is built on aggression, on fluidity, and on a level of risk that most other teams wouldn't even dare to try. They want chaos because they truly believe that's where they can thrive.
But all that chaos, it comes at a huge cost. A dangerously high defensive line. Fullbacks pushing up so far they're basically wingers. And this creates these massive gaping holes when they lose the ball. So for every single attack they launch, they leave themselves totally vulnerable to one single deadly counterattack.
So, if Atletico's system is built to control literally everything, how do you beat it? Well, you introduce a variable it can't predict. You unleash an agent of pure, unadulterated chaos. You unleash Lamine Yamal. And I'm not exaggerating here. He is one of the most electric attackers in Europe. The stats for a player his age are just staggering. He is Barcelona's designated weapon, the one designed to break down a system as rigid and unforgiving as Atletico's.
Just let this number sink in. 127. That's how many successful take-ons he has in La Liga this season. That's the most in the entire competition. His one-on-one dominance is the absolute key because Atletico's fortress is built on winning those individual battles. Yamal is the one player who can break that entire balance.
And he's not just a dribbler, he leads the whole league in creating big chances. He doesn't just beat his man, he creates decisive, game-winning moments for his team. He is the one player who can turn all of Barcelona's possession into actual penetration.
So this is his title, and it's perfect. The structure disruptor. Think about it. Atletico are built to stop patterns, to read plays, to anticipate structure. But Yamal, he brings chaos within the chaos. His sheer unpredictability is the one thing their disciplined system is just not designed to contain.
So that brings us to the end game. 2 teams, 2 philosophies, and 2 very, very different paths to get to the semifinals. For Atletico, the path is crystal clear. Maintain that defensive discipline, stay compact, frustrate Barcelona, and then, when the moment finally comes, be absolutely lethal in transition. If they score first, it's pretty much game over.
Barcelona's path is so much harder. They desperately need an early goal to change the psychology of this tie. They have to stretch Atletico's block as wide as possible. But most importantly, they have to attack with a kind of controlled aggression. They have to create chaos on their terms, without leaving themselves fatally exposed at the back. It's a tactical tightrope walk.
So it all comes down to this, a final verdict in a true battle of ideals.
So what's it gonna be? What decides a battle like this one? Will tactical discipline and that defensive structure win the day, or can one unpredictable explosive talent just tear the entire blueprint to pieces?
Look, here's the truth of it. Atletico Madrid are the more disciplined, controlled, and efficient team. If this game stays structured, their efficiency will see them through. But Barcelona, they're the more creative, the more explosive, and the more unpredictable team. And if this game descends into pure chaos, that's what opens the door for them.
Because tonight, it's not just about who scores more goals. It's about whether chaos can finally break control.